Right, good morning everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate you joining me, watching some of my videos, and I'm going to try my best to see what we can put together on the Vaal River. So we've arrived at the river. I really love this place. It's a challenging piece of water. I've said many times before, I've been here and had great success, and I've also been here and really struggled. So I think this piece of water is very close to my heart for those two reasons. Is that it's really something that you got to come and puzzle. You got to chip away at it, and then till you unlock what the fish are doing. So of course every day is a challenge, but there's nothing better than working hard, really working hard for something and leaving at the end of the day knowing that you've got the right bites and certainly the right size fish. So yeah, that's what our objective is today. But I think before we start, just a couple of thank yous. I think the first thank you is to Laurel from the Vaal River Lodge and Spa in Vaal Park for allowing me to use the facilities and always welcoming us with open arms. So Laurel's been here for many years and definitely one of the best lodges that I know in Southern Africa. Really, her hospitality is next level, her staff are super friendly, facilities are great, the family loves it. So yeah, now it's obviously open now to the riverside where there's a bar and restaurant that's open. So come along down to the river, come support Laurel, and you'll see for yourself this is a magnificent place. And then another couple of thank yous to Victron Energy. I just want to thank you for always powering me on the water and ensuring that my time on the water is spent properly without any failures. And really it's a system that has proven itself over and over. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just switch over to a couple of things just to highlight right off the bat. The time now is just before 6 o'clock, so 5 to 6, and I just want to show you my battery monitor, my battery monitor status and the voltage that I am. And then at the end of the day I'm going to show you the same two monitors, one in the bow, one in the console, and I want to show you the voltages at the end of the day after I've really worked the trolling motor hard, just to prove to everybody how great these batteries are. So we'll talk about the charging systems and that down the line, but for now I just want to show you the voltages at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day when I've really worked them hard, so just to show you how good they are. Okay, so as you can see there, the voltage at the moment is 13.08 volts, 6 o'clock in the morning, and this is on my Victron Energy BMV 712 smart gauge. So this is the gauge that I was talking about in one of my previous videos that connects Bluetooth, so I can manage my battery system via my smartphone during the course of the day. And not only during the course of the day, but when I get off the water I can also now monitor the history and how much I've actually drawn my batteries down. So okay, so 6 o'clock in the morning, 13.07 volts. This is on my console, and this particular one is my cranking battery. Now I'm going to move up to my trolling motor batteries. Right, my trolling motor batteries at this moment are sitting at 27.31. So this is the cumulative voltage, because these batteries are obviously in series at the back for my trolling motors. And so 6 o'clock, 27.31 volts. Let's have a look at the end of the day. The Vaal River has an abundance of wildlife. Here a water monitor is basking on a fallen tree. Often the sounds of the African fish eagle can be heard in the background, which really makes this venue truly magnificent. This stretch of bank that I've just stopped on now
is referred to as Mile 18, and it's a bank I often stop on because of the amount of fish that I've caught in the past. It offers so many different options for the angler to fish. Here I'm pitching to a fallen tree, lots of thin little branches pushed up against the reed bank, and often you find these fish either locate right on the base of the tree, which is against the reeds, or often they're sitting on the slightly deeper section of the tree, ambushing their prey. So as you can see, there's lots of shade on this particular bank at this point. So often you find the fish that are pushed up right in the back of the reeded pockets, right up against the shoreline, or they're sitting just on the outside edge. Here I'm fishing a Zoom speed crawl, one of my favorite baits to fish on this river, as mentioned earlier. So there's basically two baits that I'm really primarily focusing on now. It's going to be the Zoom speed crawl. I'm fishing June bug, black and red, and of course the Mega Bass SV3 spinnerbait. These baits have really produced some good quality fish for me in the past, and as always my go-to baits. So the trick here on this particular bank, you can see I'm fishing pretty slow, but yet I've got to fish slow and methodically, pitching to every form of cover and giving myself every option to get those quality bites. Once you've sort of located where the fish are, it's easier then to pinpoint them and then to follow through on the pattern, and then you can work a little bit faster, making sure that your pitching is accurate, giving yourself the maximum chance of capitalizing on the bite. The rod I'm using at the moment is the NRX 873, 12 to 17 pound fast action rod, and paired up with a 2020 Metanium 16 pound fluorocarbon, a 3/16 tungsten sinker, a 2.0 wide gap hook, and like I said, a Zoom speed crawl. It's so peaceful on this river before the traffic starts, so I'm enjoying every moment at this stage. Okay, so what we're going to do, I think I've tried my darker black and red. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try a June bug speed crawl, a Zoom speed crawl. Another very, very good color. You can see this little bait has just caught so many fish for me. I can't even tell you how many fish it's actually caught. So as far as confidence bait goes, I'll try a different color, and like I said before, I think it's most critical as to where you put the bait. I think it's, especially this time of the year now, at the moment we've had quite a bit of rain, so what you're finding is a bit of flow, and the fish are starting to position nicely behind the trees. Well, they should start positioning behind the trees if I had to call it. But yeah, like I said, I think it's important to put the bait in the correct position. Boat positioning is very important. I think it's something that's also overlooked, especially when you're fishing trees. You don't want to be bumping into the trees and making the fish aware of your presence. So I think the more stealthy you can be, I think the more bites you'll get. So in this particular case, I think it's something that we can try, and let's hope the results tell. So let's give it a go. Switch to a June bug, and let's check if we get any more bites. That's what we're talking about, boys. That's what we're talking about. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Look at that specimen. Absolutely brilliant. Let's get her back into the water, and most importantly, practice catch and release. Off she goes. Right, here we are. We're pitching one willow tree that has kind of been pushed offshore and is now continued to grow. So here I'm pitching the speed crawl to the base of the willow. One thing that I want to really highlight, I believe in angles. So what you'll see me do is I'll be kind of working around this tree, trying every possible angle, because it depends on where the fish are positioning, will determine the bite. So I never ever approach it from one side. I always try to work around. Yeah, you can see I'm hitting the shallow side of the laydown. So that's probably in about 2 foot. Trolling motors hit the bottom, and then I'll work around onto the deeper side. There you can see a bit of dust kicking off the bottom now. So the side that I'm coming to now is the deeper side, where the tree is actually lodged, and this theoretically should be where the fish will position. You'll see a bit of a shaded pocket, and that is the ideal spot for these fish to be located. Same with this bank that I'm fishing now. It's got a combination of willow and laydown sort of cover. So you've got two options: either to pitch right into the back of the willow, into the shade, or what we'll do is we'll be working the laydowns, the hard wood, the clean wood is what I would call it, and then you'd often find the fish holding tight to that cover. Right, this is scarp voller. I like to fish this particular bank with a spinnerbait. There's some shallow rock right up against the walls, so pitching and winding back slowly. In this case, Megabass SV3. Right, moving on to Bass Factory. This is merely distinguished by a couple of black rocks on the side of the river. So as I'm zooming in, you can see the coordinates that I'll put here for you for easy reference. And then all of this is what sits underwater. Lots and lots of high spots coming right up there to 3-4 foot. So there's several ways that you can fish this. Obviously the first way that I showed you guys this morning, you come back, come through it with a spinnerbait, come look for some early bites right up front, right up in the shallows, on the shallow rock. And if that doesn't work, then I generally crank it so you can get down a little bit deeper, sort of that 5 to 6 foot mark, and then from there you can sit and worm it. So that's just to give you an idea as to what Bass Factory looks like. So several ways to fish it. You can fish it right up to 20 foot of water. I know a lot of guys that have got good fish right up to 20 foot, but that's not my preferred style of fishing. Right, let's go and find some other shallow cover. Right, here we're fishing another laydown that has kind of been pushed up with the high water. This is a bit of dry wood, as you can see in the background there, a bit of tufts of grass and a bit of new growth, which offers the fish a bit of shade options. And it's important to fish these laydowns with every possible angle. Like I mentioned earlier, I believe in angles, especially in this particular body of water. You've got to find out where the fish are positioning themselves. Still fishing a speed crawl, and just making sure that I'm probing this laydown with every possible angle. As the day draws to an end on the mighty Vaal River, one can sit back and reflect on the day's fishing. So today, caught a couple of big fish,
mainly on the Zoom Speed Crawl and the Mega Bass SV3 spinnerbait. As promised, I'm now switching to my Victron gauges, and at this point I'm going to now show you. So when we started in the morning, my gauge was at 13.08 for my cranking battery, and as you can see now, it's at 13 volts. So there's no more excuses as to why these are the best batteries and charging systems in the world. Secondly, my trolling motor batteries, the morning I showed you 27.31, and we're now sitting at 26.70. So literally after a full day of burning this trolling motor up and down the Vaal River, we've literally dropped less than 1 single volt. Now it's time to plug it in, my single insert, and let the magic begin. I'd like to take this opportunity and thank Victron Energy again for all their support and enabling me to work through the day without any effort whatsoever. I've now showed you the gauges, the start of the day to the end of the day, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me that there is no doubt in my mind that they are the best battery and charging system that any angler can expect to have. So thank you, Victron, and until next time guys, we'll catch you on the water.